What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I apologize for the stupid little barking dog in the background. It is what it is. So, I know that I've been telling you guys that I'm going to be doing some gear review videos for a long time now, and I feel like that's something I've been telling you guys that I'm going to do for like 2 months. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's real cool. Battery low, huh? That's cool. I'll be back. And we have light. Okay, let's try this again. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the new equipment. So, the first thing I want to touch on with you guys, so these are the custom archery accessories lethal injections. These are 300 spine and they are awesome. So these are the very skinny shafts, the micro diameter stuff. These are stainless outserts with a 100 grain slick trick, raptor trick is what those are on the front of there, and I have that ended up with a nocturnal. That's a lighted knock in red. That's pretty much the color that I like to use. It kind of matches everything else that I've got. My release here, it's red. This is a Carter Just Cuz Plus. This is a thumb release that I have I picked up probably 2 years ago, I guess. Maybe not quite that long ago. And I have loved this thing from the minute that I got it. It took me some time to learn going from a wrist release over to the thumb release, but it was something that I was really glad that I did. One of those changes that made me a better shot all the way around. It helped me boost my confidence a lot, which for archery shooters, especially the trad guys, or your traditional archers, longbows, recurve, stuff like that, confidence is a big thing, and it's a lot of a mind game. But anyway, I wanted to touch on these arrows again because I'm mainly, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the bow. So if you guys haven't heard already, I am sponsored by Mathews Archery, and I want to give you guys a little bit of background. When I first started bow hunting, probably 7 years ago, I guess that's about right, 7 years ago, my very first bow was a Mathews Creed XS. So the XS was a 28-inch ATA, which when I say ATA, that means axle to axle, and that's not the very top of your cams. That's not your limbs. I believe that is from the top of your bottom cam to the bottom of your top cam, if that makes any sense. But 28 inches, just a little over 2 foot, if my math is correct. I did do engineering school for a little bit, so I think I'm kind of close on that one. But yes, I love this bow. I love my XS. It was a very accurate bow. I actually shot my first Robin Hood with it as well. And another fun fact is every bow that I've owned since I started bow hunting, I've shot a Robin Hood with, which it's kind of bittersweet. And yeah, it's cool when it happens the first time, but every time after that, you're like, oh man, come on, there goes a lot of money, for some reason, I always feel like whenever I shoot a Robin Hood, I have to keep the arrows together, so one of them gets destroyed in the back, and the other one is still usable if you separate them, but I always keep them together. So anyway, that's enough about the arrows. If you guys want to get a discount on your entire purchase at Custom Archery Accessories, use the code right here. I will leave it, and I'll also leave customarcheryaccessories.com link below in the description, so you guys can jump down there and get on the website. Trace, the owner of CAA, is a super awesome dude. He sent me over a dozen of these arrows, customized completely the way that I wanted them, and these are sick. So that's cool. The battery just died on that one too, and I've literally been filming for 2 whole minutes. So I'm gonna go get the cord and plug this in. Okay, now back to what I was saying. Be sure to check out Custom Archery Accessories. They will be linked down below. You can check that in the description. I'm going to try to make this pretty quick and simple and easy. But I wanted to get a couple of the small things out of the way. And one of the last, second to last, I guess, accessories on this setup of mine is my stabilizer. So the bee stinger here is one of my favorites. I like the big disc on the front. I've shot short, like little bitty 4 or 5 inch stabilizers. This is an 8 inch, I believe, and I have shot stabilizers all the way up to 3 foot. So like this long or a little bit longer, and those are sweet. I used to shoot a whole lot of indoor like competition, and I used to shoot in a lot of 3D tournaments as well, and so I had some of the back bars and the big long stabilizers. Actually, I didn't have them, I borrowed them, but I got to shoot some of those and I really enjoyed those. And the last thing on this bow that I wanted to talk about, let me get these arrows out of the way, is my HHA. It's a single pin sight. Just your basic QAD drop away rest. This is the Mathews branded one, but it's the Ultra Rest. I mean, pretty straightforward, basic, I guess. I have shot Whisker Briskets, and I have shot a couple of different rests, and I always end up coming back to the QAD, just because that's what I started out with, I guess, but also because it came with the bow whenever I ordered my bow. So I love it, and I've had great success with it. I know some people that shoot some different brands of dropaways, and I've heard some good things about some of them, and I've heard some bad things about some of them, and you know what, I've never had any troubles with my QAD, so that is what I'm going to stick with. And the main purpose of this video is to talk about the Triax. Judging by the title, that's obviously why most of you are here, I'm sure. And so this is the 2018 Mathews Triax, and you know what, I wish I had some better lighting for you guys, but this is kind of what it is for now. But 28 inch axle to axle. I had this one set up at one of my local bow shops. He put in the peep for me, put on the D-loop, served in my rest, and just the basic simple stuff, you know. And right now I have it set at 74 pounds, so that is completely maxed out. You guys can see, if you look right here, there's no gap right up in here, and I didn't realize it, but I did order 60 to 70 pound limbs, and I've shot 70 pounds for like the last probably 5 or 6 years, and it took me a while to build up to that, but I didn't realize that whenever you max the limbs out on this bow, that you're actually pulling 74 pounds. So that's actually proven with a scale. After I put the D-loop, or after the bow shop put the D-loop on there and pulled down on it, just before it peaked over into the back wall, the scale was reading 74 pounds, which is awesome. I love the extra speed, and with these heavy arrows, I'm going to need all the help that I can get. I did do a review over the Darton Maverick 2 that I had, and that bow was screaming fast, and that's just about the only thing that this bow lacks is speed. But Mathews isn't known for speed. It's known for everything else. So this thing is super quiet, super dead in the hand. This is the best bow I think I've ever shot. And that's saying a lot, because I've shot a lot of different bows. I've shot a lot of really fast bows. I've shot everything from PSE to Bear to Elite. I shot the 35. I've shot many different Mathews, everything from the Z2, the Z7, the Z9, the no cam, both no cams. I've shot the Halon 32. I've shot, or Halon, however you want to say it. I actually owned a no cam for a while, and I filmed a couple of videos with it, but I don't think I showed it very much. I've shot New Breed. I've shot Hoyt, of course. I think I mentioned Bear and PSE. Those bows that I shot from Bear and PSE were some older models, but basically, if it's a brand that's on the market and it's semi well known to very well known, I've shot it. I've spent a lot of time in some bow shops, and so I enjoy all the new bows, and I enjoy going in like November or October when all the new ones come out and shooting all the new ones. Even though I may not always be in the market, I like to test stuff out and be able to give you guys a better review because I have more knowledge. There's a bunch of them out there, you guys know. I am very, very ecstatic to be teaming up with Mathews this year. This is not any kind of paid promotion, which I guess I do wish that it was, but this is not. I am just honored to be a part of the team, the Mathews team, which is what I started out with, and that was one of my big reasons for going back to Mathews after shooting Darton for a while. And don't get me wrong, I love my Darton, but this thing from first glance, it just looks sweet. So I got the stone color, and the reason for me getting the stone color was just because I've always had camouflage bows, and to be real honest with you, I don't think it makes a difference sitting in a tree stand. I honestly don't believe, because my Mathews Creed XS was black and red. It had no camouflage on it whatsoever, and I shot plenty of hogs and I shot plenty of deer with that thing. And so I really just like the stone color. It was something that Mathews came out with brand new last year or 2 years ago, I believe. And so I've always wanted to get this color, and whatever color arrows that I get or release or whatever I throw on here will match. I don't know about you guys. If you like the camouflage bows, just drop a comment down below. I'd like to know what color you guys prefer. But I do a lot of ground blind hunting. My favorite is to be up in a tree, but I do some ground blind hunting, and I do and still it's not going to make a difference, but the dark color does keep me hidden a little bit better. So this is going to be my my standpoint for probably the majority of this video. It gives me set up like this, I can show you guys a little bit more hands-free all about this bow. So the first thing I'm gonna start off with is brace height. So from here to your brace, right in here, you're looking at about 6 inches. So you do get some people throwing some fits with brace height. A lot of people like the 7 or the 8 inch brace height because you get more forgiveness, so to speak. So your 5 inch and your 6 inch brace heights, you're looking at a little less forgiveness, which means having some more experience shooting a bow means you're going to be more accurate. The more forgiving the bow is, the more accurate that you're going to be. And I can say without a doubt, even though that this is a 6 inch brace height compound, that it is very forgiving, and that just comes with the name. I mean, it's a Mathews. So the next thing that I'm going to go with here is your IBO rating. So Mathews isn't always been known for their speed, but this bow with my other arrows, my lightweight hunting arrows, set at 68 pounds, was getting right around 275 foot per second. This thing IBO rated for 343 foot per second, which is pretty stinking fast. Now, whenever bow companies come up with this IBO rating, what they do is they take everything off the strings that could weigh it down. So there's no peep, there's no D-loop, there's no monkey tails, there's no string dampeners, there's no nothing. And what they do is they max these bows out and they make them shoot the highest poundage that they can shoot, which in this case is 74 pounds. And then what they do is They take an arrow like this, these micro diameter, these really skinny shafts, and they remove the fletchings off of them, and they don't have a field tip, and then they shoot them through a chronograph, and that gives them their max speed. And that was something that I was told, and that's also something that I learned from lots of research. So whenever you get an IBO rating, that is not with your typical hunting arrow setup, with a broadhead, a nocturnal, or just a regular knock, your D-loop, your peep sight, your string dampeners, your stuff like that. They get rid of all the variables that could potentially slow the bow down, and that's how they get their IBO rating. The next thing I'm going to go to now, which I think I've mentioned, but axle to axle, this bow is 28 inches, which is incredibly small. It's very short, and I don't think there's a new compound bow on the market right now that is shorter than 28 inches axle to axle. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, guys, drop down below in the comment section and let me know, and tell me what bow it is, because I'd like to check it out, and I'd like to shoot it just to see how it compares to this. Just in case I decide to do another review over this particular bow in the future, I can give you guys a little bit more opinionated or detailed review, just because I will have shot some other short ATA bows. So from there, I'm going to go on to draw weight. This bow comes, you can get 50, 60, and 70 pound limbs. And I know that it's kind of strange that this thing maxes out at 74 pounds, but that's what the scale says. The scale was right. We had it zeroed and everything. But I guess I just lucked out and got one that shoots a little bit higher. But if any of y'all have a Triax and you have the limbs maxed out, like you bought 60 and 70 pound limbs, and you completely tighten your set screws down, let me know if y'all's maxes out to 70 plus, because I'd like to know if that's something that maybe like I just got a special one, or if like it's really, if all the 70 pound limb bows really do that, like they're up to 74 pounds. But from there, I'm going to move on to the draw length. This bow is super, I wouldn't say super versatile. You're looking at 24.5 inches up to 30.5 inches. So I don't know many people that are 24-inch draw lengths, and I don't know many people that shoot a 30.5-inch draw length. I know a lot of people that are like in the 27, 26, 27 range, 28, 29, but I don't know anybody that shoots 30. But for the people that do shoot the 30 plus, they always have to go to like the longer ATA bows, just so they can get the draw length out of them that they need. And so this thing does go down to 24.5 inches, which I like that for some of the women that would like to shoot this bow, and maybe even some kids too. But for those longer arm guys out there, you may have to look into something a little bit different, because this thing tops out at 30.5 inches for your draw length. You can combat that with a longer D-loop. So if you need, like, let's just say you need a 31-inch draw length, or you need a 31.5-inch draw length, you can extend your D-loop out a little bit, which I know that that's kind of pushing it. You'd have a really long loop, but if you only needed a half inch or a quarter inch or whatever, you can make that up in your D-loop. So from there, I'm going to go to let off, and this bow, you can get the mods for 75% let off, and you can get the mods for 85% let off. Those are the two that they have. And we did the math on this whenever I first got it, because I couldn't remember which mods that I got, but I'm almost 100% positive that I got the 85% let off mods, which means I'm holding 15% of the weight back whenever I'm at full draw. With the 75% mods, you're holding 25% of the weight, so you just have to do the math. Like, I'm pulling 74 pounds, whatever 25% of that is, that's what you're holding back whenever you're at full draw. But these are the 85% mods that I have on here right now, I believe, and so I'm holding back whatever 15% of 74 pounds is. From there, I'm going to go to the physical weight, which that's everything stripped off of here, 4.4 pounds. Now that's pretty heavy, especially with this thing being as short as it is. That's a little bit more than what I'd like for it to be, and especially since I'm going to Colorado for an elk hunt this fall in September. 4.4 pounds, and this may sound kind of crazy or anal a little bit, but when you're in the mountains and you're packing gear around for an elk hunt, every ounce counts. And so you can go talk to any of those guys that hunt up north and do all the packing up in the mountains and that style of hunting, like the spot and stalk style. Every ounce counts, and everything, like, it's important. Let me just put it that way. So after you throw a sight, you throw a rest, and you throw everything else on this, and of course a quiver with 6 arrows in it, I'm probably looking at a little over 6 pounds, which still, like, that doesn't seem like that much, but in reality, when you're walking 6 to 8 miles a day, that matters. And if you can shave a pound off of it, that helps a bunch, especially when you're going to be out on, let's just say, like a 7-day hunt or a 5-day hunt, and you're packing this thing around every day. So with everything that this bow has to offer, that's my only issue. That's after shooting several hundred arrows through it, like, that is my biggest issue so far, would be the weight of this thing. And depending on which stand I go and sit, I have to walk anywhere from a half mile to a mile in to be able to get to my setups. And I know some guys that hunt public land a lot, and they're walking over a mile and a half, 2 miles to get to their stands, and so they're carrying all their gear as well because it's public land. So again, that's my only issue with this entire bow. I love this thing, but I think Mathews could have done a little bit better job on the weight. As for the rest of this thing goes, you guys may have noticed, like, I think the Halons have it, but their new Centric cam system, I'd have to do some more research on this thing, but it's kind of a new style, and it's something that Mathews has started doing here as of late, in like the last 2 years. And I don't think my Creed XS had this Centric system on it, and after shooting a couple of different bows that have this system and a couple of different bows that don't have it, I'm really liking this. So far with this bow, I've shot Axis, an Axis buck, several hogs. I've shot a red stag doe, a turkey. I've shot a lot of different animals, and I am really loving the draw cycle on this thing. It's super smooth. Of course, it's dual cam, and it's just been an all-around great bow so far. I just kind of wanted to run through this thing with you guys real quick. I hope that didn't drag on too long. But I actually really enjoy doing some of this gear review with you guys. And if you want to know more about my rest and about my sight and about my arrows and everything, I'll leave all that stuff linked down below so you guys can jump down there and check it out. Like I was saying, I've shot many different animals with this bow so far, and it has really surpassed my expectations. Like, I knew it was going to be a good bow just because it said Mathews on the side of it, and that's not me being prejudiced or biased or whatever. I truly enjoy shooting Mathews, not just because I'm not saying that just because I have a partnership with him, but I'm saying that because I have shot just about every brand of bow on the market, and nothing compares to this draw cycle. Nothing compares to the vibration. Like, there's no vibration with this thing whatsoever. And but Mathews does a vibration test on their website at MathewsInc.com, so you guys can, if you're interested, you can go check out some of the vibration tests that they do with this Triax. And it's been an awesome bow. I expected it to be a little bit more difficult to shoot, I guess, but just because of the short brace height and the short ATA. But it's been incredible. It's been super accurate, and I've shot this thing out to I believe about 50 yards is the furthest I've shot this so far. But with my new tape going on this sight, I should be good out to like 60 and 70 yards, and That's going to be what I need whenever I go to Colorado in September for some elk, because I know that we'll be taking some further shots and I'm going to need that. And with this thing being maxed out at 74 pounds, with these heavy arrows, I'm going to have a North American game killing machine. And also, I wouldn't hesitate to take these arrows with some fixed blade heads over to Africa and doing some killing over there as well. But I'm loving this thing. And for those of you that are shooting the Triax, I'm sure y'all are loving y'all's as well. Again, Mathews hasn't been known for their speed, but I'm kind of an accuracy guy myself. Like, if I'm gonna shoot a bow, I want it to be accurate, and if I want speed, then I'll just pick up a gun. But you know, that's part of bow hunting to me. It's part of the challenge is, you know, you pick up a bow because it's slower than a rifle and it adds more of a challenge. So that's part of the reason why I did. I love this setup. I'm ready to run these arrows through some hogs because I have not killed anything with these yet, but it is coming, and I'm super excited to get after them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that y'all were able to kind of learn something. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. I read all the comments and I do my best to reply to all of them. And so if you guys have any further questions about the Triax or about any of my other gear, I will let you guys know about that, or I will answer your questions. You know, respond to whatever questions that you guys have. I'm also going to be doing a review video over my camera gear. So I've had a lot of questions about what cameras that I use, and so I'm going to film a video in probably the next couple of days, because I'm backed up with footage right now. So I'm trying to get some stuff edited and put out for you guys, and so I'm going to do a short little review video over my main camera, which is what I'm filming on right now, and a couple of my other cameras, as well as my drone and some action cameras and stuff, so you guys know exactly what I'm using whenever I'm out in the field. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys. The last thing that I want to finish this video out with is don't go out and buy a Triax just because I told you to, or because I left a good review on it. There were a couple of things that I didn't like about this bow, and I feel like I mentioned those, but the advice that I offer everyone that asks me what bow that they should get, here's my advice, and this is what I feel like this is the best advice that anybody could give you, and that's go to a Cabela's, go to a Bass Pro Shop, go to a professional bow shop anywhere near you, and just go in there and tell them and be like, hey, look, I've never bought a bow before, I've never shot a bow really, it's something I want to get into. And they will, they should, for the most part, immediately understand that that you don't have much experience, and so they should be willing to help you out. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter what the name says on this thing or on your compound. Like, it doesn't matter what the name is. Go in there, pick up a Hoyt, pick up a Mathews, pick up an Elite, pick up a Bear, pick up a PSE, shoot them all. Figure out which one you shoot the best. Figure out which draw cycle you like the best. Figure out which back wall you like the best. Basically, let the bow pick you is a good way to describe it. So you don't want to just go and drop $1,400 on a whole brand new setup and take it home and shoot it and be like, man, I love this thing, and then pick up your buddy's Hoyt or your other buddy's Bear, or you know, you may have another buddy shooting a PSE, and you pick up one of those three bows and you start shooting, and you're like, man, I love this thing so much better, and I shoot it so much better. Like, don't make that mistake. Go into a bow shop and shoot all kinds of different brands. There's like this, I guess you could call it camaraderie or whatever. There's like this deal with people who shoot PSE and guys that shoot Mathews and guys that shoot Hoyt. Like, there's this competition, I guess. I don't know. It's like, if you're not in our group, then you know, you're not cool. But for me, it's like, if you're bow hunting, that's awesome. You know, I don't care if you're shooting a Hoyt. I don't care if you're shooting a Bear. I don't care if you're shooting a PSE. Just pick up a bow and get in the woods. Like, it doesn't matter. So at least know that I'm not going to make fun of you if you shoot a Bear, or if you shoot a PSE, or if you shoot new breed, or if you shoot whatever the case may be. just pick up a bow and have some fun. Again, make sure that whenever you go into the bow shops that you tell the guys, like, hey, look, I'm new to it. Let me shoot a couple of different bows and see what I like. And if you pick one out that you like and that kind of fits you, then you can get them to put a sight on it. You can get them to put a rest on it, and you can step out into the 20-yard or the 15-yard range, and you can take some shots and see if it's what you really like before you spend the money. But I hope all these tips kind of help you guys. I hope that y'all were able to learn some of this stuff. I think that I did a fairly good job of kind of relaying some knowledge to you guys and doing a quick little review over this thing. I love it for what it is, and I'm glad to be back shooting with Mathews. I'm ready to take this thing all over the world and kill a bunch of stuff with it. So I hope that you guys are excited for the adventures, and it's going to be good times. So again, make sure to jump down and check those links out. Custom Archery Accessories, don't forget to use the discount code if you guys happen to purchase something. It helps support me, helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it so very much. Be sure to also check out some of the other videos linked down below if you guys would like to hear a little bit more on this sight and on these arrows. But all in all, that's what I got for you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are absolutely amazing.